Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this tutorial we are going to learn about Redux Toolkit, and using that we are going to make a counter app. So let's first initialize our React app by writing a simple command, which is npx create React app and name our app as Redux Toolkit tutorial. This will take some time because it will download some files from the internet, so let's wait for that. So our React app is ready, so let's move into this folder. So we will just write cd and click on tab, and as this directory has only one folder, so we'll just click on enter, and we will just write code space dot to open this folder in our VS Code. So now our VS Code has opened this up. So I'm pretty sure that you already know what these files means and what is the folder structure. So I'll not waste your time in explaining all those things. I have created a styling file, so I'll just go to this one and I'll just change it. And if you need this styling file, you can either copy these things from here, or you can just ask me and I'll provide you those things. So let's go to our app.js and clear out all the things and add an empty fragment here and open our terminal. In this terminal we will add two libraries, so let us install those two libraries first by writing npm install @redux.js/toolkit. And there is one more library that we need to install, which is npm install react redux. So React Redux just binds our Redux to our React app. So once this is done, we will add a new folder for Redux, and in this folder we will keep a folder named features and a file called store.js. So now let's go to the store.js, and in the store we will write a configuration file, configure store from redux.js/toolkit. Now what this configure store will do, it will help us to create a store for it and also to combine all the reducers. So first we need to export store out of it. So for that we will write export const store equals to configure store, the same word, and we will have to pass it a object with the property reducer, and this reducer will keep all our reducers, right? So whatever reducer we will make, we will put them in features and we will import them here, and we will pass those reducers to this reducer property, and this store will provide those reducers throughout our app. So let's just copy this and go to our index.js. Here it is. We just need to write, just wrap our app within provider, and to this provider we will pass store equals to store that we have created with a Redux store, right? And we will close this and we will just move our app within our provider tags. Now let's go to features that we created inside Redux and create a new file named as counter. dot js. Let's import create slice from Redux Toolkit. Then let's initialize our state. So whatever we will give to this state, all that whatever we wrote earlier is just a simple boilerplate code. We need to write that as it is, and now the main thing comes where we create features. So the same way we use our use state to uh, update our state, and we assign an initial value to our use state, we will do the same thing in the Redux toolkit as well. Okay, so let's just create an initial state like const initial state is equal to an object with value equals to 0. Okay, now let's create our first slice. We will export const counter slice equals to create slice, and within this create slice we will write name. Now we can name it anything, we will name it counter. Okay, so we will provide a name counter, and we will pass it a initial state which is same initial state. So we can write it either like this, or we can just remove this thing and keep it like this. This will also work because ES6 provides us a functionality that if key and value are same, then we can simply write key and it will work. Now let's write our reducers. Reducers are same as our set state in use state. Reducers are functions that help us to update our state, right? So let's write down our first reducer. Now we are making a counter app, so our reducers will be like an increment and a decrement reducer, because we want two functions to be active. One is to increase and one is to decrease, right? So reducers, and we will give the name to our first reducer which is increment. And what increment will do, it will just take our state. Now this state is our initial state. Okay, so we will just write state which returns state dot value. Okay, because we access this value by of an object by writing state dot value, right? So we just write state dot value equals to state dot value plus 1. Now whenever we call this increment reducer, it will increase our state dot value by 1. Like if I call it once, then it will change 0 to 1, and if I'll call it one more time, it will change 1 to 2. Okay, so it will, this way it will work. Now in the same way, let me write decrement as well. Decrement. Now we will take same state. This state again represents to the initial state. Okay, so state returns state dot value minus 1. Okay, so now it will, if we will increment this one, state dot value, we can also write it like this, minus equals to 1. So what does this thing means? It means state dot value equals to state dot value minus 1. Okay, so this is a second type of syntax. I have written two types of syntax. You can either use any of these things. Okay, And let's make one more reducer named reset, which will take, we can just take state, which will take our state, and what will it do? It will just set our state to initial value, because reset simply means setting as something to initial state. So state dot value equals to 0. Okay, so this way we have created three reducers, means three functions, or you can say three set states for this thing. Now let's pass this feature to our store. So counter as counter reducer, import counter reducer from dot slash features slash counter slice.